Welcome back to Soda City Living. Today we are back out at First Priority Garden Center. I am joined with one of our employees, Jasmine. Thanks for chatting with me today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, so something really exciting is happening here this month, here in August. You guys have your Houseplant Social. Tell me all about that. If you've got a green thumb, you're definitely going to want to be there for this.
Yeah, it's a really great houseplant event for people who are seasoned or just want to try something new. We're going to have 2 seminars and a workshop at the end of the day. It starts at noon with a propagation seminar, and then it's going to go into a houseplant 101 for those who want to get their houseplant knowledge,
get all the
just
tips.
generalize. And then it'll end with a terrarium workshop. So it'll be a step-by-step guide. We'll provide all the materials,
so cool.
And then it's a take-home, so you get to take your little terrarium home.
Is there a price for the Houseplant Social?
Yeah, so it's $10 per person, but
cool.
Like I said, we will provide all the materials. You just got to show up and be ready to learn.
So it's $10 per person for all 3 of those events?
Yep.
That's awesome. That's a total steal. That's so good. And I feel like I've been seeing those terrariums kind of everywhere, you know, and you'd be spending $10 anyway. So do it like this and learn about it.
Yeah.
Something else we're going to talk about today that I want to learn a little bit more about is container plants. I wasn't even sure what a container plant was before I walked in here. So give me a little bit of background. What is a container plant? Why would someone use container plants?
A container garden is essentially just a nice way to add a pop of color somewhere on your yard, porch, back deck, without having to use too much space. So you can use any sort of ceramic, plastic, terracotta pot, and use an arrangement of florals depending on the season.
Yeah, that's awesome. This time of year, is there any plants that you recommend for a container plant?
Yeah, so as we're going into fall, some really great options for color are pansies, violas, snapdragons. There's some vegetable options as well that you wouldn't think you could use for container gardens, like bloody sorrel, Swiss chard, just lots of options that can withstand the cooler temperatures and add color.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it's great for people who may not have as much space to do all of the gardening that they want to do. What is the upkeep like?
It's really simple, general watering. Because you're going into the cooler season, you might have to water less, but deadheading is always important, cleaning up any spent blooms to encourage more growth, and fertilizing. Fertilizing is super important because it's not really getting its nutrients from the ground, it's based in a pot.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Well, thank you so much for talking with us about this. And now we're going to hear from some of the other employees about some other really cool stuff happening right here at First Priority Garden Center. Let's take a look.
Come join us on Monday, September the 1st for Labor Day. We'll have lunch. We'll be grilling out hamburgers and hot dogs. We'll have bounce houses for the kids. We have koi ponds. They'll be able to feed the fish. And it'll also kick off our September savings. So for the entire month of September, the entire store will be 20% off. And that just excludes services, but all the plant material and amendments and chemicals will be 20% off for the entire month of September.
Fall is a really great time to start planting. The temperatures are going to mellow out much more, so it's going to be a lot better of an opportunity for perennials, trees, shrubs to roots and be able to establish themselves before winter approaches. It's also a lot easier for us to get out there and do that planting too. It's pretty brutal to be planting in July and August, so other than spring, fall is another great time to do that. One thing to consider is chill hours. So in South Carolina and the Midlands, we get roughly on average about 700 chill hours. That's not something that people really always think about, and that's going to be how many hours we get that are about less than 45 degrees to 32 degrees, and that's going to be important for creating really strong fruit. So there's going to be some fruit varieties, even within apples, pears, plums, that are going to be within those hours and not within those hours, that are going to be more specific towards our zone. All the ones that we're going to be carrying here in the fall are going to be ones that will do great here in this zone, with some exceptions, with some reaches, but plenty of the things that we offer are going to be great and offer fruit for this area. It can be something that beginners do just as much as advanced gardeners. There's certainly much easier options for fruit-bearing trees or shrubs, but also there's some pretty easy and pretty complicated options too. So whatever your skill is with fruit, just take advantage of it and give it a try. Just on planting, make sure that you use a really good compost. We always recommend the Stout Ollie compost. That's a certified South Carolina grown compost with cow manure, catfish trimmings, and cottonseed meal. Also, make sure that you use a good mulch to help insulate the soil and retain moisture. It's going to be really essential for bearing through the rest of the fall and into the winter.
We're located at 1067 Woodleys Way, Northeast Columbia. You can find us at thegardencenter.com. And we also follow our social media and just search First Priority Garden Center.